Hi there, Badraven fans. Badraven here today with you. I'm going to do a review of a movie that Andrew and I just watched yesterday, and it's the new Transformers movie, Transformers: The Last Night. I went into this movie, I always say, not expecting anything. But I mean, I really didn't love the last one. The last one was okay. It was a good, just regular movie. I had action and everything. So this one, I was like, I'm not a big fan of the franchise. I think they do serve a purpose, as far as it. They have a story to tell, but feeling like it's getting kind of old in the tooth as far as the way they do the same stuff over and over. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, so I'll just kind of touch on certain things in the movie and without giving anything away. But this one is set, I guess, so many years after the Transformers Age of Extinction, and we have of course, the world's still at war with each other over the Transformers being there, and they're still like fighting the army and stuff, and military are still fighting the Autobots and Decepticons both in the world. So it's kind of strange at the beginning. You got like a war zone in Chicago, and we find out later that Mark Wahlberg daughter in the last movie is like at college. I mean, and then you see the UK, and they're like, having people go through museums and take, what do you call that, where you go and you look at all the stuff in the museum. I don't know what it's called, but they're just like nothing's going on, and like Chicago looks like a war zone, buildings crumbled and everything, and everybody on high alert. But that's where it starts out in Chicago. It shows a lot of the destruction that's happened, and evidently, like I said, the military is still fighting, all of them. And we see Optimus Prime floating through space, like going to find his creator. And that's pretty much where he stays through the whole movie till pretty much the close to the very end. He comes back to fight, but if you've seen the trailers, you'll know why. But I don't know what it is about this movie. It's a popcorn movie. It ain't like something you're gonna like really need to have a big deep meaning of the movie. It's basically this last one redone. Has plenty of action. If you like action, if you like Transformers, you'll probably like it. We watched it on matinee. I mean, I liked it, but I mean, like I said, I'm not a big fan. But it just seems like with Michael Bay, he's the director. He's been the director of all of them, all the Transformer movies. It seems like with him, he's got the same type of directing way he directs, and he just, if you see it so many times, the way I can see where he's pulling our heartstrings or trying to get us to laugh and stuff like that in the movie, I can tell it the way he's trying to get it to pay off in certain parts of the movie, like Mark Wahlberg and the new woman character in his life. This woman played Peter Quill's mother. She's the one that's the love interest of Mark Wahlberg in this movie of Transformers, The Last Night. And I was surprised by that because, first Guardian of the Galaxy, she was bald from cancer, and the second one, she was blonde-headed. So this one, she's dark-headed. So she didn't favor her, I guess, when I read this later on. But anyway, she's in it, and Mark Wahlberg, they're trying to do that romantic chemistry type thing. They hate each other at the beginning, and then they kind of get thrown in together, and then it's like you can see them setting it up the way that they're trying to get you to feel like something for them. But it doesn't really ring true. I mean, you can tell it's orchestrated, I guess. I guess you shouldn't be able to see this kind of stuff coming. Maybe I've watched a lot of movies and I just know what they're trying to do. And they have one character that Mark Wahlberg is where he's hiding down in a junkyard. He's a guy that works for him. And he's like the comic relief around there in that section. And he totally gets on my nerves after about 10 minutes of him talking. He's constantly trying to say something that's funny. That you keep pushing it on you that he's funny, he's saying funny things. And it's just gets annoying after a while. And I was glad after the first part of the movie they got away from him. He didn't get killed or nothing. They got away from him, and where he got Mark Wahlberg separated from him. And I was so happy because that one character was really, really killing me. I'll post all the actors right here that's in the movie and their parts. I do this to keep from having to pronounce some of their names because some of them are usually hard to pronounce. But yeah, they all did okay in their. It's not a horrible movie. I don't want you to think it's a horrible movie. It's just not as good as the other ones, which I really like the first one and maybe the third kinda. It's just getting old in the tooth with this story that's going on. And they do have at the end of it, they have like a little, not after the credits, it's right during the first part of the credits scene where they talk about the next one. So about Unicron, I don't know if I can give anything away on that, but that's all going to come to pass in the next one. And I read somewhere that 2019 they're going to come out with Transformer, I guess 6 it would be. But I just feel like they've kind of beat a dead horse. It's just okay. It's just an okay movie. And I'd be surprised. It'll probably do all of its money overseas, international. It probably won't do as much in America. I don't want to say much about the movie because it's the basic Transformer movie. You always have something from the sky always trying to drill into the earth, and they're always having to try to stop it. It's that basic type of thing. I told my son, it's just like they do it over and over again, and it gets kind of old. But if you like these movies, please leave a comment about the Transformers. Like I said, I liked the first one really well. I thought it was really state of the art, and they had some really cool action scenes in this one. Tell me if you liked this one, if you've watched it, or if you didn't like it. Like I said, it was just okay to me. I'd give it like a 5-6 area. It could have been better, I guess. They had, let me go back a little bit. They had a C-3PO ripoff and an R2-D2 ripoff in this. And they even admitted they had the C-3PO ripoff by saying it right in the movie. And Anthony Hopkins was great. Anthony Hopkins is in this. And he did a tremendous job of what he had to work with. You tell he was out of place because he was such a great actor. And but he held up his part of the bargain as far as his acting ability with what he could, But I think he was just totally wasted in this movie as far as his prestige, to be in this. But sorry, I got back on those two tangents. I just remembered them. But like I said, leave a comment and tell me what you think. Tell me if you liked it or disliked it. And we want you to keep watching and keep telling your friends about the channel. The Badraven is always happy to hear that. And remember, the Badraven is your friend. And we'll be back with more reviews as quickly as possible. So we'll let you go, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.